everybody? Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about a new list I'm going to be making, a new videos that I will be making, and this will be called Great Idea, Bad Execution. Debating poor execution or bad execution. I don't know which one. We'll see which one makes it in the thumbnail. But I always talk to Seth, and me and Seth talk about this all the time. And I talk about this with Seth all the time, that there are certain movies I watch that they aren't good movies, but I watch them because they have great ideas in them. Or great concepts, or great, or like the layout, like if I described the movie to you, like if I described the concept of this thing to you, you would immediately be like, that sounds fascinating. But then you actually see the film and you're like, this sucks. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of movies. I don't want to get into the details because this would be like my action classics. But great great idea, poor execution. Now, the first film that I'm going to talk about and great idea, poor execution has to be, for me anyways, it's a movie that I think should get remade. I think it should get remade into a show or into a film, remade a film again. You get someone like Matthew Vaughn, or maybe even Taika, or maybe James Gunn. Someone who's on it, someone who's kind of got that adventure streak to them. And that is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is by far one of the worst films I have ever seen in my entire life. It is ass. I mean, it's bad. It is ass. That movie is god-awful. That movie was so bad that the late and great Sean Connery retired because of how stressed out he was working on that film. The film was bad, the production on it was bad, the acting in it was bad, the CGI was bad, the actual story they wrote was bad. Like, the film itself is all around bad. Oh, sorry, car driving by. But the problem with that movie that always gets me is that the idea, because The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is based off of a comic book. I believe it's a Dark Horse comic book, but, I could be wrong. But it's based off of a comic book. It might be a Vertigo comic. It might be Vertigo. I think The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's either a Dark Horse comic or a Vertigo comic. But it's based off of a Vertigo comic, but it's based off of a comic. And I've read a couple pages of that comic. I've read some stuff. Like, I never could find the entire thing. Like, it was just broken up. But but the comic itself is pretty dark. It's pretty dark. Like, just to put it in perspective, the comic's so dark that at a certain point in the comic, anyways, the Invisible Man betrays the League, and Mr. Hyde finds out about it. And you think he's going to just murder him, snap his neck, or whatever. But Mr. Hyde proceeds to ass rape, I'm not joking, ass rape the Invisible Man so hard that he ass raped him to death. It was just, and when he came back to it was like a whole scene where the League were in a room, Nemo and all of them. They were in a room and they were just talking, and then he was like, "Where's the Invisible Man?" And but it was brutal. It was brutal. I was like, "Oh my god!" I remember seeing that when I was younger. I was like, "Oh my god!" So one of the big problems with this movie was that like I just told you, the actual comic is pretty bloody. It's pretty bloody. It's pretty violent. It's not like too over the top, but it's pretty over the top in terms of its gore and violence. It's let me think what it's in line. It's in line with Umbrella Academy and The Boys. That's what. Just think an old old literature period piece like Dorian Gray and that kind of time period. Just think that time period. But it's like The Boys and Umbrella Academy. It's pretty bloody. It's pretty violent. And they tried to make a PG-13 movie out of it. And they really tried to take a lot of the oomph out of it. That was one of the biggest problems. But also the concept itself on paper, especially right now in this time and day and age where everyone is desperate, where companies and studios are desperate for a big superhero thing, a team, anything. Just to break out right now. Like I said, you got The Boys, you got Invincible, you got all these shows that aren't made by Marvel or DC, that are on the edge, that are, you had Preacher, you have all these superhero / comic book things out there. And it's sad to say The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is, to me, such a great idea. I mean, think about it. This team of literary characters, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Nemo on the Normandy from, goddammit, what is it, 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Alan Quartermain, Dorian Gray, Mina Harker, Tom Sawyer, you know, all of these literary characters, and the way you can play with that, and the different characters you can do, you know, add even more characters to that mix. Just seeing all these characters who in their own books, you know, Dorian Gray and Mina Harker, and just seeing these characters who are in their own books, who are their own characters in their own books, they have nothing to do with one another, be taught that they're in the same universe and interacting with each other. It's something amazing. It's something really cool. It's like a weird combination of the Avengers and the Universal Monsters. Like, that's an interesting concept. And like, especially nowadays, like, it would be such an interesting thing to see, and I really want this to be made again. I think the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was a shame. The movie was so bad that no one wants to touch it again. I'd like to go back and read the comics more if I can find them. If somebody knows, put it in the comic section where they are. But the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, to me, is the ultimate epitome of what I say all the time. A great concept, a great idea, but just such bad execution that it tanked this great idea. Like I said, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Like I said, the CGI was a bit choppy. I mean, I like the idea of the Normandy, or is it the Nautilus? Shit. No. I think it's the Nautilus. I've been calling it the Normandy the whole time. I am so sorry. I believe it's the Nautilus. That's Nemo's ship from 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's the Nautilus. I believe that's what it's called. But it just looked like a giant sword. It looked like a giant over the top. Like, the idea behind that movie was so much cooler than the actual movie. And it's a shame because, like I said, I think the idea behind it is cool. I like the concepts. I like what they were going for. It just didn't work out. And as that will be the first good idea, bad or poor execution. I'll be doing more videos like this. I already got a couple videos in mind that I'm gonna make. Put in the comment section below. Name it won't just be, and by the way, I'm gonna just say this right now, it won't just be on movies. It'll be on TV shows, it'll be on video games. So comment below, what's a video game, a TV show, or a movie that you thought sounded cool? Like, in your head, when you heard about it and you heard the premise, you were like, that sounds great. And then you saw the movie and you're like, what the fuck is this? There are so many films like that. I can go off and say Alien vs. Predator. Alien vs. Predator is another goddamn movie like that. There's so many movies, there's so many things, there's so many video games that the concept was way more awesome than the actual thing you got to play. And I think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is the epitome of that. I think this is such an amazing concept. I want it to come back. I desperately want it to come back because I just like the idea of it. And it saddens me that it got hurt that bad. I mean, this movie got hurt bad. This movie hurt the idea of it bad. And granted, it came out at a time where those movies weren't making a lot, but man, like if I had to gave that movie a rating, it would have been like a 2, man. It would have been like a 2. And not even me angry at it, me just having to just judge this film and just go, it's not good. It's not good. But I love the idea behind it. I love the idea. That's about it. Thank you guys for joining me. Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and like I said, comment below. What movie, film, or game did you think had a good idea, but the actual product sucked ass? Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.